Woo! We get to meet somebody new tonight. And we get to finish off the month of May where we have been focusing on the mind. And so tonight in Mind Talk, we're going to bring Jamie in a couple of minutes. Jamie's going to chat with us. It's like her first book. I believe her first book. We'll let her tell us. But y'all, I'm so excited. Y'all, look at all my little, ignore all my it's her first book. Isn't it amazing? She's so beautiful, and we get a chance to meet her and connect with her tonight in Mind Talk. So I'm so looking forward to learning about her journey. But in the meantime, I want to remind us of what's going on. We're going to finish up May tonight, but we kick off June on Tuesday night. And Tuesday night is Pursuit Night. And Pursuit Night is where we get ourselves together for the upcoming month. I've already given you guys a sneak peek in our what turned into a prayer time on Friday morning of what we're doing. Let's get this spirit activated. Let's get recharged. Let's shake ourselves. I feel like some of us have run into a bit of a spiritual rut. But in the meantime, I want you to come into this space and take it all up, girl. You better say, hey, why? Because you deserve to be known. You deserve to feel love and value. And here in the Pursuit Club, we do that. So make sure you are saying hello. If you're new to the Pursuit Club and you want to know more about it, you can go to prolificpursuit.com, dig in, and join this amazing group of people. In the meantime, let's see here. I'm going to introduce our speaker, but before I do that, I got to get this opener in. And so I want us to kind of dive in a little bit with just a little bit of dreaming. Just a little bit of dreaming. And I hope y'all are ready for this. And the dreaming is around this. My dream house on my next level, whatever that level is for you, has what? Okay? You could say my own room. Okay, you could be sharing a room with your kid. But what is the next level dream home for you? What does it have? Give me one or two features, girl. What is in this next place? I want to know. Come on. What does your dream house have? Okay. So for me, I'm telling you right now, mine has a usable garage, sis, because it is full over here. We got to move some stuff. Y'all, I love to not have to walk out in rain. I am now bougie. I have moved on from how I grew up, and now your girl is spoiled. And I need to be able to pull into this garage. But moving definitely a thing. What's up? What does your next level dream house have? You can go 3 or 4 homes away as you see it today. You never know what God wants to do. Or just present state. What does it have for you? What's up? Hey, Andrea's in the building. Nieves is here. Tina's in the building. Giselle is here. Is this Dominique? Who is this on Facebook? Definitely share your name. And if you want to go to a certain place, facebook.com/StreamYard, you can actually give it permission to show your name so I don't have to ask you every time. So that one is completely up to you, but just know that you can do that. Okay, what does your next level home have? And Andrea has said that her next level home actually has a pool and a she shed. Oh, girl. She shed, girl. Do you know the first thought that came to me when I saw that insurance company? Wasn't the insurance company with the mom with the she shed in the back? As I was like, does she have an AC unit in the window? Because how was that thing cooling off? God help me. My random thoughts and watching commercials, y'all. See, when we get together in September, we're going to do a movie night. And sis, let me tell you, I be so confused. Like, how is she cool? What is happening? Look, what is going on? Oh, Jamie has what she's going to share when we introduce her for sure, Jamie. This one, oh, what's up, Kara? Not sure. It kicks us out sometimes. It be trying to make sure everyone really wants their name shared. So what's up, Giselle? Giselle said, we just closed. Oh my gosh, Giselle, congratulations. All I wanted was a craft room. That's right, creative girl. Office, and I got it. Y'all, can we get excited for Jaceel? Look, y'all, there's been so much movement with Angie accepting her new job and going down to San Antonio. And y'all, this is so great. Andrea moved into her new house a couple months ago. So cool. I love it. God is so great. Yes. Okay. I know it, girl. She sheds a whole nother level. Okay. Tina says what she wants next is a full basketball court. Movie, lay it out, Tina. Movie theater. Okay. She wants 7 bedrooms in her dream home and a 4-car garage. Let me tell you something. I don't know where you want to live with your dream home, but those things are all over Atlanta. Y'all, we done came back here. We be driving by, and I'm like, who lived there? Who lived there? And it'll just come out the cut because all these trees out here, you just driving and then boom, it's just like an amazing house to the left and to the right. Atlanta has done something. Yes, she said also a gym. I see that Giselle in her new house. Yes, and Giselle, we are continuing to be so excited for you. Congratulations, y'all. But Tina, she done pitched it. And you have the nerve to say Andrea's dreaming big. How, Tina? Tina, you just told us you needed everything in the world, Tina. I know it. Oh gosh, I love this so much. Yes. So if you haven't, you can drop it now. What is in your next dream home? So if I had to go even bigger, I think a movie room would be great because it's like a part of the culture of our family. We do movie nights every week. It's getting easier as the kids get older. You know, they have different ages, but for sure. All right, Kara says, don't really care about what's in the house. I just, woo, y'all, she done took us to a place. She says her dream home comes with a housekeeper and a chef. Kara, you better school us on today. Man. See, this is why I love this opener, y'all. I love it so much. Why? Because us even getting to hear each other weigh in on this stuff opens up our minds, right? A bit. Because when I say housekeeper, look, I ain't talking about once a month because I can afford it. I'm constant, right, Kara? You eat dishes, they clean the dish. Come on, in the name of Jesus, because they love to do it, of course. A chef, though, a chef to not have to think about these meals. Come on, freedom, Lord. Y'all, that is it. Yes. Tina, if you had somebody who would go get your Starbucks for you, who knew your orders, girl. We talking personal assistants. I don't even know. I done left the room. Okay. Yes, this was so fun. Okay. It is my talk night and we're about to get into it. Definitely still drop your comments and get prepared with any questions that you may have because we are talking about walking out of self-imposed prisons tonight. We are talking about happiness and what that actually looks like because happiness is such a buzzword out there. So now we're about to kind of dive into it in just a moment with Jamie. So with that, a couple reminders. Tuesday night is Pursuit Night. Let's get ourselves together. Let's shake off the first 5 months of this year. Can you believe it? We're heading into summer, y'all. We're heading into the last 2.5 or so active quarters of the year. We need, come on. I need you to shake it off and get it back together. Get it together out there. I feel us running into ruts, getting distracted, not living purposefully. Just a spiritual thing. Come on. Let's shake ourselves back up. Tuesday night, we're doing that at 9 p.m., not 9:30, 9 p.m. on Tuesday night. All right. I think we're ready. We're about to invite Jamie in. First thing we're going to do is ask Jamie what her dream house has. Can you guys give it up for Jamie in the comments now? Jamie, get in here. Yes. Da, 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 da,
Hello. I'm so glad to be
so
here.
good to have you. I showed this a moment ago with my little 60s, but this is her book, you all, My Piece of Happy. And Jamie Watkins. I happen to know a Jamie Watkins very closely. Some of us in here do. So they're like, wait, but she don't speak. She's not. They're like, what?
Okay.
So this is so beautiful that we get to know you. And
Yeah.
y'all, let me just tell you right now how we randomly met. And then we have to have her answer the question, okay? Y'all, who has heard of Rachel Hollis? If you have heard of Rachel Hollis, who I don't even know if I follow anymore.
I don't
I
either.
Okay. Rachel Hollis used to go live all the time. She's like, what is it, Jamie? Like a speaker?
Right. Self-help women. I don't know
Yeah,
what it is.
something like that. Well, yes, Cecile. Well, we were on a morning live stream that she used to have, her and her husband. Get here, Dominique. And with that, we were just two Black girls on the stream. Now it's hundreds of people, 500, 600.
Yeah.
We somehow end up talking to each other.
Right.
In the stream, y'all.
All of the
How many years ago was this now? 2 or 3? Something like that.
Yeah, about 3 now.
About 3 years ago, y'all. And I have watched Jamie, you guys, begin to really, same. We haven't followed her since the divorce, but definitely, y'all, I have watched Jamie take off. She had the dream of writing this book. There are folks in the club who also have dream of writing books. One finally released her book just a week ago. And when I see this, all these words, girl, I'd be like, Lord, y'all authors are on another level. But Jamie, can you
was like, oh, it's a book.
It's real pages. So first, Jamie, can you tell us a little bit about who you are? And then we're going to jump right into this conversation.
Absolutely. I am Jamie Watkins, as I was so warmly introduced. And right now, it has been quite a journey, but right now I am a wellness empowerment speaker. I'm a best-selling author, a podcaster, a mom, wife, I'm all the things. But most importantly, I'm Jamie. So I'm just Jamie.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Jamie's in the building. Our random meeting and just connecting, now leading to this moment where you've accomplished so many things, which is so great to see. But that means you have a journey and a story to tell, girl. I know it. I know. Okay.
That has read, that gets the book, you'll know more about me than you ever wanted to know. But it's for a reason, and I'm glad that everything I've been through can serve a greater purpose and add impact and value.
Excellent. And it definitely does. I know part of the book you've written prayers to your kids, words to your kids, your dad, just so many things. Okay. Now the book is called My Piece of Happy. So I thought happiness would be a great conversation to have because Jamie, this month we've been talking about having a healthy mind. So it's been a lot of mind health, and in the world it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's a unique focus for us. First time we've done this. And happiness, of course, has so much to do with our thoughts. So I'm thinking we kick off with this question about just kind of defining happiness and just kind of your thoughts around happiness.
Yes, and I'm glad that you said our thoughts, because a lot of people associate it with just the feeling, that feeling of happy, which is kind of, for lack of a better word, shallow, if you will. There is an emotion of excitement and dopamine, right? This happy, but it is definitely my belief, more of a mindset and a mental state of well-being. And so I'm calling the happiness coach. That's the happiness I'm referring to, the fulfillment, the positive thinking, the growth mindset. When I think happiness, that state of wellness and well-being.
I know in chapter 6, you actually talk about happiness, and you mentioned that it's a mindset that you actually choose daily. But can you help us navigate, the moment where you catch a flat tire, or somebody says something crazy to you at work, but yet you're trying to have a mindset of happiness? Is it like some bubble bliss where you're ignoring everything that's happening, the reality? How do you balance that?
Not at all. It is really, in simplest terms, a choice. It is saying that I feel, just taking one of those examples, right? This flat tire. Okay, I'm not going to get to where I'm trying to go in the time I wanted to be there. That's going to frustrate me because I'm a very good stickler for time, right? So because we're human, that if that initial, right, is like, oh my gosh, I immediately, right behind that is like okay, I'm not gonna let this upset. Like I can feel the chemicals, right? But
Yes.
I'm making a conscious choice, which
Yes.
over time comes quicker and quicker, right? It's almost like
Mhm.
a practice, but over time, and over time it will get quicker and kind of almost be like you really did just flip out of this thing. But I
Yes.
slow that down, the emotion comes, our initial right go to now I'm pissed off or now I'm
Yep.
frustrated. You feel that chemical like you're thrown
Mhm.
off, and I have to talk myself through, sometimes out loud, Jamie,
Mhm.
right? I'm like, I'm not gonna let this, you know what? I do one of these, you know what? I'm not gonna let this upset me. I'm
Mhm.
gonna get there. This just means it's gonna be better. This just means it's gonna be good. And I literally, you could call it what you want, psych myself out, whatever, of
Do
the
it.
yes, I trick my mind, right?
Come
Because
on.
the tire is still flat and I am going to be late. So I'm not ignoring the facts, right? This isn't some
Mhm.
fantasy world that I'm saying, like, oh, let's just, kind of loop ourselves out of reality. No, we still have to call AAA or whatever have you. We still have to call that person and say, listen, this is what happened. I'm not going to make it. So, yes, there's steps we still have to do.
Yeah, and your emotions are moving.
Right.
Your
And the
emotions
emotion
may not agree. This is what I heard you say. Your
with
emotions
the
may not.
decision. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I want to acknowledge that, because some people think like either it's not working, like, well, I just can't turn it off, or that's not reality. No, it's all of that. And we're complex beings, but it's possible, right? It's possible to be sad and grieve and choose to keep going. And that's okay.
Mhm.
Like, that's how we're made, right? It doesn't
Yes.
mean like when I lost my sister 2012, which I do share
Mhm.
about in the book, right? To cancer. It doesn't mean I don't miss her because I'm not crying every day like I was maybe initially, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't mean, but we can do those things. We can miss and grieve and we can keep going. And so that's what choosing happy looks like. I'm upset at this moment. I wish it would have been different, but I'm going to choose to focus on maybe my act of gratitude earlier or
Mhm.
whatever, which is another tool that I use, right? Um, with getting to that wellness place, because I know if I don't choose another place, where that frustration and anger can get me, and it's
Mm.
not going to serve me well. So I let
It's
that
not.
lesson learned, I'll call them lifestyle success tips, right? I let that
Yeah.
history in the journey tell me, okay, what purpose is this going to serve me? And I can choose something different for myself. I can
Mhm.
decide, despite this situation, to choose better.
So when I think about parenting, it is one of the most, and look, this is for the aunties, grandparents, all the people. You have little people that even come around sometimes, they are unpredictable and can be some of the quickest people to feel the brunt of happiness leaving the room. And now you
Mhm.
have to pull it back in as you parent or move or whatever else. And so what I'm hearing you saying, no matter what situation, even the unpredictable ones, you can choose to, I like how you said psych yourself out, because you may think, I do not feel like this.
Right,
I do not feel any joy, any happiness around this. I do not feel it. But
hmm
I'm going to tell myself right now that this is going to
right.
pass. And I am not going to allow this moment to be destroyed by
Right.
the emotions I feel. Did I hear that right?
Yes, yes. I did a post like, don't trust your emotions. They're there and they're valid. I don't,
Mhm.
I'm careful to, they're valid what you feel, but we also want to look at the bigger picture, right? Our mental wellness, that bigger picture of where this is going to take us. And that's the energy. Whatever we feed is going to
Agreed.
grow. We know that, right? So
Yep.
let's feed that positive. Okay, this is what I'm feeling right now, but what can I do about that?
Okay, so we're about to break this thing down another level. You referenced in your book about a self-imposed prison, and you said, and I think this was chapter 7. Yes, chapter 6, and you talk about the self-imposed prison,
Mhm.
and you define it as being a self-imposed prison of control, of fear,
Mhm.
and even people pleasing. And for the room, I'd be curious. First of all, before we continue, I know sometimes my ladies, we multitask during these, which I love. Like, make the most of this time, fold the laundry, do the things. But if you are able to type in a comment, I would love for you to call out if there's any of these prisons or others you may identify with. Do you feel like control is something that is kind of locking you up when it comes to relationships, people, mindset, whatever, or even fear? Is that something that is possibly self-imposed for you? What would be a prison if you could type it in? That would be for you. For me, I didn't realize that control, I don't know if I would even define it as that. But I will for today. So control for me, like, I don't like unexpected things I could have prepared for.
I'm a high yes in the structure. I'm like, yes.
And at the same time, what's weird is I'm like a go with the flow person. Like my hubs, he needs like routine. I don't have to. I don't have to, and can still be completely functional and thrive in a day. But when it comes to like, okay, I'm trying to knock out these 3 things today, what you talk about in your book, you say, don't try to get the most done, try to make the most of the day, which is I want to pause on that too.
Different things.
Yes. Yeah. You're like, don't try to cram it all in. And that is freeing for a person like me who, if I can help it, okay. Right. So let's talk about self-imposed
those lists, right?
Yes. So how did you walk out of it? I can imagine it could be different for each of the things, but what are just some of the ways you did?
Well, the control stemmed all the way from losing my brother, and that I call it post-traumatic stress, right? Losing him at 9 and creating this bucket list. And death had shown up at such a young age. So, not probably, needed some grief counseling that I didn't get. Wasn't something we did back then, right? Therapy wasn't in the narrative. And so I came up with this bucket list of things I wanted to do before I died at 9. And the control set in because death had shown up and told me like, okay, he walked out the door and never came back. So I can't control that. I can't control that I could just die. What I can control, I will control. So I developed OCD tendencies and ulcers and just trying to control everything, what I could, right? And so that stepping away from that really was not anything I initially consciously did. It was really God, everything spinning out of control and me feeling like, okay, I can't rein this in. I can't, I can't apply what I knew. I can't do like, this is controlling me, have to surrender. Like, okay, I can't fix this. I can't control this. Like trying to save the marriage and trying to do all these things and having to surrender that what I thought was control, right? I can't change people. I can't make people love me. So getting to that place of like, I can't control this and I have to surrender to God and let some things be.
Yes.
And so,
and let imperfect things be.
Yes. Because perfectionism was in there, the people pleasing, and perfectionism really, you have fear. That's what perfectionism is about. A lot of people think, oh, you're a perfectionist. You just want to get everything so right. No, I am scared of getting it wrong.
Wow.
That's the reality I had to face. Calling it like, yeah, I just want everything right. And I'm just so detail oriented and I'm just so organized. All of that sounds good. But when I really got to sit with myself and I talk about self-awareness as one of the tools of mindfulness, I'm so scared to mess up. I'm so scared to get it wrong.
Yeah.
That's what's driving the control and perfectionism. So that's what I had to address. It's okay to mess up, Jamie. You're going to make mistakes. It's okay.
Yeah. And here we talk about giving your best effort. Perfection
is always good enough. That's when I started telling my kids daily, like, you know what? Your best is always good enough. And that's the question I ask. Like, my son's like, what? How come his sister can get a B and he gets in trouble for the A? Because I know that wasn't your best because you just finished telling me you did it on the bus or you
come on, Mama.
Well, maybe had you, really sat down and put, so that's why.
So I heard you call out in walking out of self-imposed prisons for yourself, of definitely being more mindful, definitely addressing things at the root. Like when you mentioned, okay, perfectionism that you dealt with was really based in fear. Is there anything I'm missing kind of in summary of like you walking out of different things? Anything else come to mind? Not that it needs to.
No, I would say just really the mindfulness and the self-awareness helped me to, and being honest with myself, the
Mm-hmm.
good, the bad, the ugly, like, and that goes back to the people pleasing, right? Not worrying about what my family, especially the divorce, like not worrying about what my family was gonna say, not, I used to say taking one for the team, right? Like not staying in this emotional and mentally abusive relationship because, well, no one's ever gotten divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm gonna be the first. Like I'm in the immediate, in our
Yeah.
get divorced. But so that was a big deal, and that was a big freeing
Mm-hmm.
choice. I made a choice not to, because no one wanted to hear it. No, like it's like you're bugging, and So I
Mm-hmm.
made a conscious choice in a deal actually with my ex. We're not gonna say anything. Like I'm not gonna. It's just over. If you
Mm-hmm.
didn't know my business before, no need in throwing them under the bus now. Like, I mean, granted, now there's a book, but
Yeah.
at the time, it was like I just wanted it over. Like, I just wanted to be out of this thing. And so I made the decision when they're like, all the what happens you get
Mm-hmm.
over. This is where it's at. This is what we're doing. And
Mm.
so that was so liberating. And I realized, like, yeah, you know what? I don't owe anybody an explanation.
Yeah.
People feel obligated to one, that's for sure, but I don't owe you an explanation. There were
Especially on
people
social media.
that I didn't tell, that I felt like needed more, deserved more. We had that relationship, that connection, but for the most part,
Mhm.
it was like my name changed on Facebook, and that's how you found out.
Ah, look, something that you mentioned here, even in the divorce, it brings me to this question.
Mhm,
There are some things that specifically I feel like are targeted towards women that
mhm,
rob us. And I chose the word rob because it's in plain sight, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
think Eyes Wide Shut is a section that I saw in the book as well. So,
mhm,
what are some common things that you would say actually can rob women of happiness? And happiness, not just being an emotional state, like we talked about
right,
earlier, it being an actual choice of shifting our mind no matter
mhm.
what's happening around us and getting better at doing that. But what are some things that come up for you that rob us?
I would say the freedom, because I just spoke about that, or bondage, I should say.
Mm,
Not, and that was something I take a lot of. If you start reading the book, you may be like, oh, wait a minute, is this a blame game? And then
mhm,
no, I flip it to, I take a lot of ownership, although that this person is responsible for their actions. I take a lot of ownership in what I allowed, because they can only, you can say whatever, but I took that in. Like, you can call me whatever, but if I don't believe it,
mhm,
it's not, but I had to own that. Not only believed it, I started walking it out. I'm not good
mhm,
enough. I'm too hard to love. So
mm.
things that rob us are, one, trying to change people, right? We can only be responsible for ourselves.
Let's hold on that. She said trying to change other people. So we just read Boundaries,
Okay.
the book Boundaries in the Club. And so when you say that, it definitely hits a nerve up in here. We know we can't change nobody, but it is a common thing to
It
try to do
is.
that.
Yeah. So it was a long time. I'm like, if I can just do this, or if I can just change me, then this will happen.
Mhm,
And so freedom, back to something, or lack thereof, I should say, bondage is something that robs us, with not allowing ourselves to be free to just be who we are, and all of the things. Like, okay, I am a person, a high S, or whatever you want to call it, a disc assessment, right? I do
mhm.
like structure. That also makes it very difficult when things have to shift and change it. I'm slow to leap, because it's like I want it all laid out. But sometimes life,
Mhm.
you got to jump. God's
Yeah.
like, no, now run, right? And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Well, how far? So I had to, that robbed me of a lot, because I
Yeah.
was overthinking and planning so much. I missed out on the present and happiness. That state of
Mhm.
being, that is a present state that I can choose right
Yeah.
now, right? I wasn't. I was so busy trying to plan and structure. I missed a lot.
Yeah.
One of the stories I tell in the book is when my husband now came in and met my son, I asked him what, I was always kind of, picking at the kids and poking and
And
seeing
how
them.
old? Can you share how old your now husband was when he met your son?
He was 6. My son was 6 at the time, yes.
Mhm.
And so I was like, what do you like about him? Because he was like, yeah, mommy, he likes him. He said he makes you laugh. And I am known for like, I'm so silly, goofy, whatever. But to my 6-year-old, that was new. Like, oh wow, he makes you laugh. And I'm like,
Wow.
had I not been laughing, like I had to think about how much it had taken a toll on me and how it
Mhm.
was impacting my children. Like, had I not been laughing, and so somebody might think like, oh, that's so cute. That's such a cute answer. But I was really like heartbroken. Like, who
Mm.
had my 6-year-old been seeing that stood out to him? And so
Mhm.
I've tried very hard now. I put effort and intention, right? And mindfulness behind being present and not letting things steal my joy or happiness and choosing that so that I can show up as my best self.
Yeah, and red flags for when happiness is leaking out the door. Okay, we about to get into this. Before we
Yes.
get into that, we have a comment here, and Tina, she admits too that she shares this with you of perfectionism, and you called out that fear being a root of that thing, fear of not getting it right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And then Andrea called out, she says, mine was definitely people pleasing was something that spoke to her, even as a child and growing up. And
Mhm.
only child I remember, that she says she had a fear of disappointing people or not being enough for people. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Wow, that's powerful. Okay, y'all, what I don't want us to is we just talked about being robbed of happiness, and Jamie gave us a real personal example. And there's so many, you don't know, there are so many stories that connect to what you're sharing, Jamie, in
Mhm.
this club. And so with that, let's talk red flags for a moment. What are
Mhm.
some things that especially for you, but what are some things that you're like when I experience this,
Mhm.
I gotta step back, or when I experience this, I gotta slow down because you mentioned slowing down and paying attention when
Yes.
we get triggered or whatever have you. What are some
Mhm.
things that come to mind for you as we kind of wrap up our conversation?
Yes. Definite sleeplessness, right? Restlessness.
Mm.
Mm. Agitated outside of the 5 days a month. So agitated restlessness. I was I had IBS, so I was having episodes, like triggered episodes,
Mm.
um, which just is all the acids go stress, all the acids going to my stomach. But that feeling of burnout, when you start feeling just overwhelmed, it's time to pause. I reset, one of my favorite words. And it's time to pause and reset, check in, like, okay, why? And I recommend checking in at the end of the week, beginning of the week, middle of the week. I don't care where, but at least once a week, like a self check in. I have
Yes.
an alarm that goes off on my phone because if I don't, I can say it and then it's 2 weeks
Did I
later.
do it? Yeah.
Check in, a self check in to just think about the week and like, okay, what did something really upset you that week and why? Like, why did I let that person get to me? Or what was the high? Like, that was a
Mhm.
great, wonderful day. Well, I want to be intentional. What can I duplicate that next week? Like, what can
Mhm.
I do? So check in with yourself. And the more you do that, you do get to know yourself. And it's like, okay, I need, like, May is mental health awareness. I was getting too crazy, just too much going on with schedule. Good busy, but I don't
Yeah.
like the burden of busy. It can be a burden if we're not careful. And so
Mhm.
I paused, like, from posting every day for May. I took my own, yes, mental health awareness. I took that for myself to just pause. And then unfortunately I had COVID. So that was like, that wasn't the state I
There
wanted
are
to be. So
women who are present now who prayed for you too, by the way. There are some that are
thank
here
you,
now.
ladies. So felt and appreciated. So yeah, so that overwhelm, the burnout, the things we hear a lot, right? But really don't tune into enough to say, is that me?
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
self-awareness and mindfulness, look out for those things. Are you
Mhm.
eating more than the practical stuff, eating more than you
Unhealthy
used to,
things.
right? And what may be, if that may be that you don't even realize, that may be your soothing, that may be your go-to. Okay, what's
Mhm.
going on? Like, this is my second Sunday this week. right? This is my, I keep craving a milkshake. Like, why? Why? Is there
Mhm.
anything? Is it I just want a milkshake because it's a nice sunny day? Or is there something else going on? And if you check in, you'll know.
Yes. I love the I think you guys, the check-in is a big takeaway for us. And yes, you may have heard it before, but I think what's most important about like moments like this is, will you actually adopt it? Will you
Right.
adopt checking in? Will you go ahead and say, okay, let me adopt? She mentioned a great practice, which we talked about, putting an alarm. Set that alarm, girl. Tell yourself you need to do this. Like, will you
And
do that?
time
Yeah.
block it out. And in that time block, just as important as saying, I'm going to check in, tell yourself what you're not going to do so you're not distracted. So when that check in alarm goes off, right, I'm checking in and I'm not going to be on my phone, or I'm checking in and I'm not going to be in the room with the TV or whatever have you. Just be specific. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm not going to do, so that you can ensure that you're going to get it done. Be
Mhm.
your own bestie. We really just have to prioritize ourselves and know that you wouldn't not show up for someone else, right? If you had an alarm that said, "Hey, call so and so because you know she was going through and you told her you'd call," or "Hey, you're meeting somebody at Panera Bread at 1 and the alarm goes off to get there," you wouldn't just stand them up, right? So we have to keep promises to ourselves as well.
Yeah, the thing about standing yourself up, I heard this said, and I want y'all to lock in on this. I heard this said earlier today. I was watching someone talk about their journey of like accepting themselves and just loving who they were with all of the things that they don't like.
Yeah.
And something they said is, if somebody was dogging your best friend, you would likely say or do something like, hey, don't be talking to my friend like that. Don't be talking to my mom like that. Whoever that person is that you love so much. And something she said was, now direct that towards yourself. When you
Right.
are dogging yourself, talking about yourself, beating yourself up, actually say,
Hmm.
uh, I don't know. I'm not talking to myself like this. Defend yourself
Yes,
against
I
these
love
thoughts
that.
that come. Look, hey,
Hey.
man, get in there and examine and pay attention. It's so important. So I love this so much. Y'all, did y'all enjoy Jamie? Oh my goodness. So I want to make sure you guys know more about her book, and we definitely can have her back, because you talking about the divorce, the transition, the journey of preparing for, because how long have you been married now?
10 years, going on 11. Hmm.
10 years, y'all. So there's a journey in there. There's things she's walked out of, and we would love to hear it.
Yeah,
Another,
definitely.
yay! I'm so glad. So yes, this was so good. Jamie, you are amazing. So if you ladies are open, and maybe we're reading in the club, but definitely go ahead and grab My Piece of Happy by Jamie. My light is like killing it.
I know,
Yes!
right? Yeah,
I
mine too.
love it. Look. So much. Definitely
Oh, great.
support
Oh,
her. Yeah,
thank
and it's
you.
on Amazon, right? You can order it on
Mhm.
Amazon.
Yeah,
Yep.
ebook and
Yep.
paperback, whichever one.
And the website, it's mypieceofhappy.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
PEAC.
And peace. Yes. Mypieceofhappy.com. Okay. This was a very awesome conversation. We are going to let you go right now. But thank you so much for being here.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much for
sharing your
having me.
journey. Yes,
And
we love
Kiara,
you.
I was with you with that chef
Did we
and
not ask you?
the house.
Okay, hold on. So earlier we asked the question about the dream house. What is your next level? Like, what does your next level home include? No matter
Yeah,
what level you're on now, what does that include? Jamie, I forgot to ask you. What is yours?
balcony view of the ocean, preferably in Aruba.
She done picked the
Specifically.
location.
And I need yes. And I definitely need the house service and the chef.
Look, Kara did take us to another level with that. The chef
Yes.
and the housekeeper, but balcony view of the ocean.
Yes. It's therapeutic
Wow.
to be able to open and hear the water and just look out.
Uh gosh, it sounds so, so peaceful.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, Jamie, thank you so much. We'll
Thank
see you
you. Thank you for
soon.
having me. Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all, so good. We're about to hit this baddies anthem real quick and we're about to be out, but I do want to get you in the room on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern so we can kick off June. We have a summer to kick off and it is time to activate, to shake ourselves up again. And honestly, some things Jamie spoke about today when she says, pause, pay attention to what's happening on the inside, especially if you are on social media in any kind of way. There's so many things that can flood our minds and trigger us constantly. It's time to slow down and pay attention, activate that spirit, boo boo, get that thing jump started again. And it happens Tuesday night is how we begin to do that. So I am so excited for Pursuit Night. But before we go, are you ready, clubbers? Now, if you are watching today and you are not in the Pursuit Club, know that you can be. Go to prolificpursuit.com, join in on the club, gave some sneak peeks tonight for you to be able to see the type of conversations and things we have. But right now, we leave with all of the bougie and ratchetness we have here. Yes, there is such a special mix, okay? And we're going to express that through the anthem. Are y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Where my baddies at? Come on, girl, that's you. Where my baddies at? Cause we rocking in here. Where my baddies at? Let's go, baddies at. There she is, there she is, there she go. Where my baddies at? And we rocking in here. Where my baddies at? And we rolling in here. Where my baddies at? Hey, baddies. Love you, ladies, so much. Look forward to seeing you on Tuesday night. Have an amazing night. Love y'all.